Hello, everyone. I hope you are having a great morning, afternoon, night, evening, whatever time of the day it is. I hope you are doing wonderful. And today we are doing something a little bit different. We're doing a Q&A. It's the second one that I've done for this channel. And I'm really excited because I looked back at the first one that we did, which was quite some time ago, and I think we were at about 6,000 subscribers when that was posted, and now we're over 13,000. That is insane. And know that I'm beyond grateful for that, for all that amount of support, from anyone, even if you're someone that maybe just listens. Likes, comments, subscribes in however way you are choosing to support me. Know that I have so much love for you for doing that. And an extra thank you to anyone that has become a patron. I don't even have the words to express how much I appreciate your support. With that said, let's get into the reasons why you clicked on this little audio, which is me answering your questions. Oh, and by the way, I have a feeling like this is going to be a little bit of a longer one, so feel free to grab some tea, coffee, water, whatever beverage of choice that you like to drink. I myself have coffee. This is only my second cup today, and it's only like 10 a.m. Yeah, I'm doing good so far. Anyway, let's dive into these questions, shall we? Let's see, the first question comes from Joseph Teffer. Hope I'm saying your last name right. Have you ever heard of code Lyoko? I have not. Should I? I feel like I should. Maybe you can educate me a little bit. Like, is it a TV show? Is it a song, a band? I honestly have no idea. Like, please educate me on this. And I'll definitely check it out. The next question comes from Ren Morningstar. What are your plans for the future with this channel? And do you have any other hobbies or projects that you enjoy doing? So, starting with plans for the future of the channel, I would definitely want to make more inclusive audios in general. I try to do that as far as making my audios very gender neutral. I would also want to make more audios when it comes to, disability and being more disability inclusive in my audios as well, and covering, more sensitive topics, I think, as well, covering, for example, deeper struggles with depression. I do have comfort audios for depression, but they mainly talk about more so, I would say, feeling sad in the moment in and of itself, and depression is about so much more than that. And I would love to talk about some of the more deeper struggles when it comes to depression, not just like I said, not just the feeling sad in the moment, not just crying in bed. That's definitely a part of it, and it's awful. But I would also want to cover the fact that sometimes depression, in my own personal experience at least, leaves you feeling completely numb, like nothing matters, nothing is fun anymore. And, depression sometimes can leave you unable to care for yourself, unable to do the basic things that people who don't suffer with depression kind of take for granted. It's the getting out of bed in the morning. It's cleaning up the dishes or even taking a shower and, covering those basic needs. And I don't really see that being talked about as much. And I would love to talk about that a lot more, as well as getting help, because I think that is really, really important. I'm not really sure how I would go about making audios as far as getting help, but yeah, it's definitely something that I want to talk more about. I also want to talk about just struggles with intimacy, maybe due to past trauma, due to insecurities, or a lack of self confidence, self worth, or body image issues. This is a topic that I can't really cover that much on YouTube, which is one of the reasons why I'm really excited about Patreon. And yeah, I definitely want to make more audios covering intimacy, really. So those are a few things that I am excited to make more of. But I also really do want to continue to make audios that I love making, that I'm passionate about. So partially it's just kind of continue to do what I do because I enjoy it, and you guys seem to like it. Yeah. Okay, let me see. You also asked about my hobbies and other projects. So I love writing. Surprise, surprise. I do write some of my own scripts. I would say it's still the majority of my own scripts, but I also love writing short stories, novels, specifically in the romance category, and poems like that. I like to read, mostly like mystery or fantasy. Those categories happen to be my favorite. And yeah, I would say those are like my top hobbies, if you will. Oh, and I am madly passionate about animals as well. I have pets myself, and I would definitely want to be more involved in the organization that I adopted them from. I think supporting adoption is a really wonderful thing, and I know they could really use the help. So carving out a bit more time in my daily life to do that, I think would be incredibly rewarding and really fun as well. Let's see, Amish Andy, you asked, what color is your hair? My hair is blonde, not like platinum blonde in any way. It's more on the darker side. In certain lights, you would probably say it's like a gold / light brown color. Yeah. So typical Swedish blonde, really. Okay, next question comes from Dan Halen. You might have answered this somewhere else, but what got you into starting ASMR? And what made you want to do it pretty much exclusively in English as opposed to Swedish? So there's a few reasons why I chose to do my audios mainly in English. And I would say that the main one is definitely because it gives me a broader reach. Like more people are able to listen and hopefully enjoy the content. What made me want to start recording ASMR for myself is I listened to ASMR before I got into this, and I started listening to specifically the GFBF roleplay audios when I was going through a really, really shitty time in my life. I've talked a little bit about this before, but I've struggled with depression for many, many years, and I was going through I would say one of the worst periods at that point. And I didn't want to bother, quote unquote, bother my family, my friends, my partner anymore. I just felt like I have to figure out this one myself, which is a really toxic thing to say to yourself. That's not very kind to put that much pressure on yourself. But that's how I got into listening to ASMR, really, and the roleplay audios was the one thing that actually gave me a little bit of comfort, and that little bit of comfort that I got was worth everything in that moment, because I desperately needed it, but I didn't want to ask anyone for it. It really, really helped, and I understand the feeling of, just the feeling of being alone. Even if you may not be alone, technically, you can still feel alone and like you don't have one, because you simply don't want to, quote unquote, again, and you shouldn't be saying this word, but burden anyone else. And I wanted to make ASMR content because I thought, damn, if I could give just one person who felt like me a little bit of comfort, a little bit of that feeling like they have someone that cares and someone that is there for them, that they're not alone, and can help them feel a little bit comforted and safe in just that moment, then I've done something really quite beautiful. And that was my motivation. I've also, like I said, I love writing. So that was definitely an aspect that I was really excited about too. The recording part was what I was nervous of, but again, my motivation was just seeing if I can help one person, and that would make it all worth it, really. So let's see, Amish Andy, again, you ask, in your Swedish Lullaby video, what were the names of the song you sang? There were quite a few, and they're all in Swedish, so I don't know how much the titles are going to help you. I'm going to try to remember them. Because I know it was Bissan Lull, which is the Bissan Lull kokar kittelen full. It's that song. There's also Vargsången, which is from an Astrid Lindgren movie called Ronja Rövardotter. And that's the Vargen ilar innatten skog. And let's see, there was from the Tarzan movie, I'm pretty sure I included, because I sing that one pretty much constantly. It's one of my favorite songs, actually, not just in this particular category, but just in general. And that's the like, så gråt ej mera, det ska bli så bra. Kom ta min hand, här finns jag. Love that song, and it's that one has, of course, an English translation. It's called You'll Be in My Heart. Love that song. Oh, it's so beautiful. Let's see, which else did I sing? I think I sang Sov du lilla vite ung, if I'm not mistaken. It's the Sov du lilla vite ung, än så är det vinter. Yeah, like that. Those are at least some of the songs that were featured. Okay, Porpy asked, What is your favorite food, and what is a Swedish dish that you would recommend? Because I'm hungry. Poppy, I feel ya. I'm gonna grab something to eat right after recording this. My favorite food is, short answer, anything with pasta. Yeah, pasta is amazing, but I really love Italian food. I love Indian food because they have so many different exciting spices and combination of spices as well. My one of my all-time favorite dishes is actually pasta with like a green pesto sauce. It's not really something that I would necessarily eat a lot of in the winter months because it's a cold dish, and yeah, I want to eat warm food in the winter. But yeah, it's really delicious. The pesto is made from like olive oil, pine nuts, basil. I usually put avocados in there as well because they're really delicious. Yeah. And oh, there's garlic. And you sprinkle some like Parmesan or something on top. And yeah, it's essentially a bowl of carbs and fat. It's really delicious. Oh my god, it's so good. Okay, a Swedish dish that I would recommend. Not trying to bash my own culture here, but I'm not really a massive fan of like the typical Swedish cuisine, if you will. Um, but there is one dish that's really, really, really delicious. It's like a pancake batter that you make, and you cook the pancake in the oven, and it's a little bit thicker than your average pancake. And you can serve it with like jam and cream or ice cream and make it like a dessert thing. Or you could make it more of like a lunch dinner situation where you grate in some vegetables and potatoes maybe and such into the batter and you cook it. Some people also put pork in there. I don't eat that, but yeah, that's something you could do, and that would be kind of like a tradition in Sweden as well. It's called fläskpannkaka, pork pancake. Doesn't sound really that delicious, but the pancake itself is really good, promise. And it's really, really easy to make as well. And who doesn't love pancakes, right? And next question comes from Parker Noah. What is your favorite video that you've made? And what is a video concept you have done that you would like to revisit? You also ask, what are some video ideas that you want to do but just haven't figured out how to go about it yet? So starting with my favorite video, there are two that I can think of just on top of my hand. And on top of my hand, on top of my head is the expression. But yeah, I like the When You Have No One Else. This is a series that I've made. Yeah, I'm quite happy with the script. I definitely have things that I would have done different, like as far as the editing and yeah, a few other things that I would like to have redone because I started doing that at the series quite a while back. So yeah. I really like that, and I really like a first time audio, meaning a losing your virginity audio that I made for Patreon. It's called I'll Take Care of You. And I'm really proud of the writing in that. Like I said, I think intimacy and fear of intimacy is something that isn't covered that much. And yeah, that's a little bit sad. But I like that. I like that audio in general. A concept that I've done that I would like to revisit. I would love to actually just redo one of my really old audios to kind of see like how could I do this better, and can I do a better job as far as the acting is? How could I edit this differently? And I've actually considered remaking an audio that I made a while back when I take care of the listener who's really drunk. I think that's one of, yeah, I had such a huge amount of fun doing that audio, and I would love to be able to redo it. Yeah. The last question you had, what are some video ideas that you wanted to do but haven't figured out how to go about it? There are definitely topics that are really, really sensitive, specifically when it comes to mental health, trauma. The A word and the R word comes to mind, and I can't say that on YouTube. But if you haven't had an experience like that yourself, I think it is, I can empathize with the people that have gone through it, but I think it is a little bit dangerous to talk about that if you haven't had that experience yourself. I can only begin to imagine what that's like, and I wouldn't want to be insensitive, misrepresent, trigger someone. And I would really, if I wanted to talk more about that, need a beta reader, meaning someone that would look over my script and see, okay, Sarah, this is I can't talk. But like, this is what's not really working. Like, this is not something that you should be saying, or these are the type of disclaimers that you should put up there. And I think this needs to be rephrased, and yeah, stuff like that. And that would be really, really valuable to have someone to do that. Okay, Takemoto, hope I'm saying that right. You ask, is there a singular event, long-term experience, or in real life person that you feel like has had the most impact and influence on the trajectory of your life? For example, a low point in life, painful heartbreak, random act of kindness from a stranger when you needed it the most, studying abroad in a faraway place, changing careers, a relative or adult mentor in the community that has been a good role model, a close friend that's means or meant the world to you. I could see a lot of things when it comes to this one, but I think one of the most important things that has happened in my life that really changed my life for the better is I've already talked a little bit about my depression in this Q&A, so I won't get too deep into it, but it's actually getting help, asking for help, because it's one of the most difficult things I've ever done. But I truly, truly believe I would not be sitting here if it wasn't for that. It was really, really bad, to the point where I had years when I would barely leave my apartment. I pushed away anyone that tried to help me because I was in denial. Like, I didn't want to, or I wasn't ready to admit that this actually was an issue. And realizing that, you know what, it actually is. And I don't want to continue living my life like this. Like, I need to make a difference. And actually being able to do that is, like I said, it's one of the most difficult things, but it's also the reason why I'm sitting here today, why I'm alive. And boy, am I grateful that I am. So I would definitely say that that has changed my life for the better, and being able to seek help, not only professional help, but being able to open up to the people that I trust. And I could never have imagined the amount of love, the amount of support that I've gotten. I've got quite a bit of the opposite as well, but I tend to focus on the people that have really, really been there for me, just absolutely unconditionally, and have been so compassionate and understanding and loving. And also how many people that I have opened up to and talked to, that it turns out they felt the same way, but they weren't, like I was a while back, not able to admit that, not ready to admit that, not ready to get help. But it really just showed that you are not alone. You're not alone in your fears and your struggles and your pain. And it's really strengthened a lot of bonds that I have with people, with friends, with family members. And I think that is a really beautiful thing because, we can be there for each other. So I would say that that's a really good thing that's happened in my life. Next question comes from Bethori. Hope I'm saying that right. Do you have a song that you can listen to on repeat and never get tired of it? If so, what is it? Yes and no. I tend to be the person that listens consistently to the same song for quite a while, like up to like a week or two, just constant repeat. Then I drop that song and go into something else, and then a couple of months later I go back to the first song and become obsessed with it all over again. That's just me. The song that I'm obsessed with right now is from The Lion King, the second movie. It's called He Lives in You. You have definitely heard it before. And I also love The Circle of Life because it's so beautiful. Like, how can you not love the soundtrack of The Lion King? It's absolutely amazing. It's so beautiful. Love, 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 love it. Yes, so that's on repeat right now. And next question comes from Bella, and you asked, what kept you going in hours-long video? Seriously, I need the dedication. I think it was really just passion. If you absolutely love what you do, if that really makes you happy and feel really, really good, then time really flies and you don't really think about what you're doing. Now, as far as the editing part and everything, that definitely takes a bit more dedication for me because it's, I swear, like the least favorite thing that I have ever done. It's not my favorite, but I know that it really makes a difference in the end result. And that kind of pushes me to keep going. Okay, HDK. Which VAs are you listening to? Are there some that you can recommend? So right now I'm listening a lot more than I care to admit to Rick Cartlin Audio, because he's an amazing voice actor, and I just think his audios are really, like, the topic that he covers is really, really broad. Definitely check him out if you haven't already. Next two questions come from Skylar. You asked, is there content you make? I'm gonna try that again. Is the content you make primarily stuff you want to listen to yourself? Also, do you have a favorite Pokemon? If not, just answer Vaporeon. Let's do the first one. Let's do the first one first. That makes sense, right? Um, yes, is the short answer. I mainly listen to comfort audios, which is primarily what I make, and specifically for depression, anxiety. I also listen to a lot of sleep aids. I would say the majority of the time when I listen to ASMR is like before I'm gonna go to sleep. So a lot of sleep aids, and I do love making those as well. Favorite Pokemon? I have to say Pikachu. I know, maybe it's like a cliche or something, and I'm not super familiar with the Pokemon world. I don't even know which one is Vaporeon. Like, educate me, please. But how can you not love Pikachu? I actually used to have a stuffed animal that was a Pikachu. Super cute. So the next two questions come from Mary. You ask firstly, did you have past relationship with both genders before? Yes, I have. And your other question is, would you stop doing ASMR if you get into a relationship? I have both been in a relationship and single while doing ASMR. I've not done the not safe work while being in a relationship. But I think that's a really tough question to answer. I would hope that any partner that I have in the future would, like my previous partner, respect the fact that this is something that I really love doing and would want me to be happy doing what I love doing. But I get the fact that it's a different kind of hobby to have, and I can understand how certain elements of creating ASMR content would make your partner uncomfortable. And it's not an easy decision to, it's not an easy discussion to have just in general. And I think if I was to be put in that situation where my partner would tell me, like, you have to stop doing this, it's making me so uncomfortable, or I don't want you to do this, I can't be with you if you continue to do this, that would be a really, really difficult. I honestly don't know. And I think maybe I won't truly know if I'm not put in that situation. I would definitely be willing to compromise on certain aspects of the content, but to give up completely, like I said, I would kind of hope that they would not put me in that position. But yeah, we would have to have a conversation about what it is exactly that would make them uncomfortable. Like, what part of the process do you not want me to interact with the listeners? I can understand that, even though I think I do in a very friendly way. Do you not want me to make the not safe work? I could understand that too. Yeah, there are definitely aspects that I would compromise, and then there are others that I would hope that maybe they would be willing to compromise on. It's a difficult question, though. As you can tell, I don't really have a clear answer to it. And hopefully my next partner would be okay with me continuing to do what I love, because I believe to a certain degree that you shouldn't have to give up what you love. And Saika, hope I'm saying that right. You asked the next question, which is, do you ever keep a diary? I have through certain periods of my life, and I would like to be able to be disciplined enough to do that. on a more regular basis, because I do think it is sort of therapeutic sometimes to write down your thoughts. I really love writing, and it's always been, for me, much, much easier to express myself like that. So it is something that I've done in periods where maybe I haven't exactly felt my best, and it's really helped me through that. I also think it can be really interesting to go back a couple of years sometimes and see, oh, right, this happened, or I was really obsessing about this, and oh my God, how hopefully how much I have changed since then and grown. And yeah, I think that can also be a really interesting aspect of it. Next question comes from Matthew Wilson. You ask, oh, you have two questions. I'm sorry. First one, when did you start learning English and what do you do for a living? So in Sweden, you start learning English in school by the third grade. At least it was when I went to school. You start at third grade. Maybe you start even sooner right now, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, but I wouldn't say that that's really what taught me English that much. It's not really the school's fault in general, but I think it's difficult to learn a new language. Like, you need to hear people speak English, you need to learn pronunciation and kind of everyday languages. I think in school, mainly we learn words. Like, we had a list of words that we would have to learn on a weekly basis. And while that, yeah, it certainly teaches you words, but yeah, I think what actually really taught me English was listening to American TV, podcasts, YouTube videos, series, and yeah, I think that's actually way more effective to learn a different language. And I think that's also the reason why people growing up today, when pretty much everyone watches some form of American TV, or I shouldn't say everyone, that's not the case, but a lot of people, even in really young years, consume a lot of American content, and I think that's actually the best way to learn English. I'm not fluent in any way. I'm still learning, but yeah. And also, recording and making ASMR definitely helps me keep the English alive, shall we say. Let's see, Matthew, you also asked, what do you do for a living? That's a question I actually can't answer specifically. Not because I don't know what I'm doing, like, of course I do. But I do have a few questions that I don't answer due to wanting to remain a little bit anonymous on the internet. I can give you like a general way of saying that it's in the environmental field, but that's about as far as I'm gonna go into that. Next round of questions comes from Conan 1988. Did you get nervous or embarrassed the first time you recorded? Yes. Oh my God, I remember listening back to my first recording and cringing so badly, thinking like, is this really what I sound like? Like, yeah, it's awkward. Yeah, and I definitely was nervous, one, because English is not my main language. That was one aspect of it, but also, are people gonna be annoyed by my voice or think it's just as cringeworthy as I did in the beginning? It takes some getting used to listening to yourself talk, for sure. And oh, your next question is so sweet. What does it feel like knowing that you're helping so many people feel safe and loved? Absolutely bombast, euphoric, amazing. That's the whole reason I do this is because of those comments that you get every once in a while from someone saying thank you or this helps in any way, shape, or form. I love making people feel good, feel exactly those two things that you mentioned, feel safe, feel loved. Yeah, that means the world to me. That's the reason why I keep making content, really. And your third question, have you thought about doing an ASMR audio playing video games? I actually have, in a sense. I have gotten some requests for like a gamer or a girlfriend. And that would be kind of cool. I also think sometimes it's just relaxing to listen to someone play a game. Don't know what it is. I used to, a while back, actually listen to a channel that explored the Witcher game and playing that for the first time. And I actually had that in the background as like a sleep aid because, I don't know, there's something about the music there and, her talking. Yeah, and I also have really fond memories of playing that game, so it was a little bit of nostalgia involved as well. So I don't know, maybe I'll definitely consider doing that, both like in a role play and maybe like even just playing a game and taking you guys with me. That would be fun too. Okay, next round of questions comes from Crinden. This is a really good one. In a Zootopian world, what animal would you want to be? Ooh. I really like Judy. The rabbit that wants to be a police officer. I think she is really... And I know this is, if we're talking about the movie Zootopia, I'm talking from that perspective right now. I get your question, it's a little bit different. But she's definitely my favorite character in that movie because she is the person that's really underestimated, but she's so determined to do what she wants and go her own way and, yeah, just be awesome. And she doesn't really, to a large extent, care what other people says or tells her that she's not capable of doing. Like, she wants to be a police officer. She doesn't want to grow carrots. Yeah, she's a badass. And I think, and it's really difficult what kind of animal I would want to be, because a part of me wants to be that kind of quote unquote underdog. And I would also be really terrified about being eaten and having a really, really short lifespan. So, yeah, there are definitely some risks about being a prey animal. I don't know, maybe I would want to be an animal that nobody would want to mess with, like a real badass, but I would be like a kind badass. Is that a thing? Yeah, it is. Maybe like a wolf. That would be really cool. But then I would like kill little bunnies and such, and I don't like that. So yeah, let's see. What is like a predator that eats plants? That's a good question. Or maybe I would be a wolf that only ate the rabbits that were like badly behaved. Or prey animals that were just way out of line and disrespectful. Yeah. That's the wolf that I would want to be. Oh my god, okay, I am weird. Yeah. Whatever. Okay. Your second question. If you could live in any fictional world, which one would it be and what character are you? I mean, like if I was living in the Zootopia, I've kind of already answered that. But if I had to pick a different world, I would actually love to be like in the whole like Harry Potter universe. That would be so cool. And I would definitely be Hermione Granger because I would want to learn everything about everything. And yeah, just the world of magic and being able to explore that would be super, super cool. I'm also a really big Harry Potter fan, so that's why. Your third question, if someone wrote a poem about you, what would the title be? I guess it depends. Let's say a partner would write me a poem. I'm pretty weird and I'm kind of proud of it. Like, I don't think being weird or being different is a bad thing. So maybe like, you're weird, but I like you anyway. Yeah, something like that. I would actually take that as a compliment if someone said that to me. I actually think that would be really cute. Okay. What is the strangest career you wanted to pursue as a child? Did I have a strange career that I wanted to pursue? No, I think it was more so the classic. Like when I was really young, I wanted to be a veterinarian until I discovered that you actually have to euthanize animals. Don't know if I could do that, even if it was for like the best interest of the animal. Yeah, that's really, really difficult to deal with. I've also wanted to be a teacher. I've wanted to be an actor. I've wanted to be a horse trainer. I've wanted to be a dietitian, a dermatologist, a doctor, a nurse. I could name a lot of different occupations that I wanted to be like, that I wanted to be, or pursue. Pursue, yes. That I wanted to pursue, and I became none of those. Well, I guess technically, maybe I'm like a super, super duper amateur voice actor. So maybe, yeah, maybe one of those things. Let's see your last question. This is a fun one too. If aliens landed on Earth and asked what music is, what song would you be blasting? Oh, definitely like The Circle of Life. Like on really loud speakers. That song is so powerful. Like, oh my god, it's amazing. Can you imagine just like blasting the once when ya babaritsi baba wanyame wanyama himunyana himunyamamana. I just love that song. How can you not love that song? It's absolutely bombast freaking amazing. It's incredible. Okay, from Anonymous. I think I understand why you chose your girlfriend ASMR as your nickname, but do you think it's kind of limiting to you and the type of content that you create? Yes and no. I really, really wanted to make specifically GF roleplay ASMR, and I think pretty much my audios really stick to that theme, but I have also definitely thought about making different styles and type of audios where it's more so telling stories from others about depression and anxiety and sort of their experience and how it affects their life and what has been helped. And yeah, that is something that's not really ASMR related in any way, and I don't know, maybe I would have to make a different channel if I wanted to talk about those things, and I'm not sure, but I've definitely considered it, and maybe because right now I don't really feel like I have time to run another channel. But yeah, maybe in the future I will make some different content. Let's see, what hobbies do I have? I've already covered that a little bit, but I would say writing, reading. I'm really passionate about animals, and of course, making ASMR content. Do you have any plans on creating some kind of Discord server, or even streaming where people could interact live with you? I've definitely considered doing live streams on Patreon. I definitely consider Discord as well. Maybe I will in the future. Not right now, but it's definitely something I'm thinking about. What music or genre is stuck in your head? Lion King. Oh my god, Disney songs. I could not get enough of them. Absolutely love them. You could never have too much Disney in your life. Never. Period. Period. Next question. Strawberry Pineapple 97. That's a really fun username, by the way. Are you more of an early bird or a night owl? I aspire to be an early bird. I actually think I usually feel like pretty energetic once I get out of bed. It's the getting out of bed part that is the most difficult. But I've been trying this thing for, it's been about a week and a half right now, where I'm a part of the 5 a.m. club, meaning yes, I get up at 5 a.m. in the morning. Usually it doesn't really happen that it's 5, it's more like 5:30, and sometimes later than that too. Sometimes it's like 6:30. But it is an aspiration of mine. And on the days when I do manage to get myself out of bed a little bit earlier, I actually find that I have a really productive day. I feel really good because I don't have to stress in the morning. Like I can actually sit down and have a proper breakfast and coffee, and I can just relax a little bit. And I find that I don't have to stress to get to work. I'm there with a, yeah, I'm there on time, and I'm so much more productive when I have a good start like that to my morning. So it's definitely something that I want to continue to do. I'm definitely not a night owl. I'm pretty tired, and especially on these days when I'm trying to get up extra early. Let's see, you also ask, do you have a favorite flower or plant? I do. I really, really love orchids. I think they're beautiful. Especially for my birthday, I got this blue orchid, which I thought was so beautiful. Oh my god, it is such a rich blue color, which is, yeah, just beautiful. And I also love pink roses. Those happen to be my favorite. Let's see, Tay ask the next questions. First of all, what is your zodiac sign? I'm a Scorpio. And what do you hate about a person? Hate is a very strong word, but I think disrespect. People who, because of a title maybe, or because of a number that you have on your bank account, just puts themselves above everyone else and thinks that they are more important, that it's not important to think about other people that you consider to be, I don't know, of lower rank, if you will. I really, really despise that. And I also despise a lot of judgment. I think we all judge to a certain degree, but I think what makes a person a lot less judgmental is willing to change that initial impression and opinion that you might have had with a person. And I also think that people who are not willing to do that, yeah, that's not a good quality to have. So lack of respect, lack of empathy, lack of compassion. I could never be with someone like that. I wouldn't want to have a person like that in my life at all. Caesar Ruiz. First of all, I have so much love for you. You've been a supporter of mine for so long here on YouTube, and just know that I really, really appreciate you always commenting and always offering support. It really, really means a lot. What kind of stream would you like to do? I would actually like to, in the future, have a podcast where I talk a bit more about anxiety, depression, and things like that. That would be really, really amazing, actually. Let's see, Mr. C. Willis, you ask. Well, first of all, you say, thank you for all the wonderful audios you've made. They help me so much and are amazing. Thank you. That's a very sweet comment. My question is, what is your favorite kind of comfort? Favorite comfort to receive from a partner is definitely hugs. Maybe it sounds cliche. I really, really do believe that sometimes a hug can just change your entire day. It can turn a bad day into a good day. And I don't know, it just makes you feel really safe and loved. So that's my favorite. And yeah, any kind of really cuddly comfort audio is definitely something that I'm a big fan of, shall we say. Next question from McGrath's wife. I've some of your questions I've answered, so I'm gonna answer the other ones. First, I'm thinking of creating a YouTube channel of videos of ASMR too. Do you have any advice? And what microphone do you use? The mic is called Shure MV7. Really simple to use. You just plug it into your laptop via USB cable. It's like, yeah, it's not cheap. It's definitely not cheap, but it's in the cheaper range of what is supposed to be a good mic to use for streams, gaming, podcasts, things like that. I'm still trying to learn all the settings and how to use it as best as I can, but yeah, I'm liking it so far. Any advice for starting a YouTube channel of ASMR? Just do it. That's honestly, if this is something that you really want to do, then absolutely do it. Figure out what type of ASMR content you want to do and start in a small scale. Like, don't purchase a mic right away if you're not absolutely sure that this is something you definitely want to dive in headfirst into. If you have an iPhone or a somewhat newer phone, those usually have pretty good sounds in them, and that can be a really great way to get started. And don't be too hard on yourself. In the beginning, I definitely was too hard on myself, and yeah, be kind to yourself and just do what you love because you love it. It's kind of just about being brave enough to take that first step and to actually click publish on an audio. That's the scariest part, but yeah, it's so much fun and you should definitely do it. Definitely. Oh, and your other, not really a question. Can you say something in Swedish? Tack så mycket för alla dina frågor. Jag har också sett ditt namn i kommentarsfältet flera gånger och du skriver alltid väldigt fina ord och hoppas att du vet att jag verkligen uppskattar ditt stöd och din omtanke. Hope that was good. So, Luna, you ask, first, where would you like to travel? Lots of places. London, definitely. Paris, like, oh my god, it's a dream of mine. It's a cliche dream of mine, but to go to the tallest part of the Eiffel Tower and having a really romantic kiss. Yeah, that would be so sweet. I would love to go to Italy. I've been to Iceland before, and I would actually really love to go back there. There are lots of places. There was also quite a few places in Sweden that I haven't been that I would love to visit. In particular, we have quite far up north an entire hotel made in ice. How cool is that? Yeah, I definitely want to go there someday. Let's see, Luna, you also ask, do you speak more than one language? And if so, then what? Well, I speak Swedish and not fluent English, but yeah, those two. I used to speak German, but I kind of don't at the moment. I took German classes in like high school, and let's just say I have not kept that going. So yeah, I can say like wie heißt du? Let's see, what else can I say? Yeah, was ist deine Telefonnummer? Yeah, I think that's basically it. Let's see, your last question. Do you have a partner, BFGF? I don't currently. We're not gonna go too deep here. I broke up with my partner a couple of months ago, and I'm kind of still licking my wounds. This was a person I thought I would potentially be with for a very, very long time. So that hurt. Yeah, it's never fun to break up with someone. Well, technically they broke up with me, but we don't have to get into that. Anyway, moving on. Next few questions made me laugh so much. Evix, hope you're doing great. I am, thank you. Hope you're doing great too. Do you think Ross and Rachel were on a break? If you don't know who Ross and Rachel is, they are two of the main characters from a TV show called Friends, which happens to be my favorite. Okay, don't hate me for my answer right here. Like, don't come after me in the comments. I know this is a sensitive topic, but Rachel actually said to Ross, I remember this this episode specifically because they were having a discussion, and it ended up somehow with Ross saying, with Rachel first saying, oh, maybe we should just take a break or something. And Ross said, yeah, I agree. Let's like grab some frozen yogurt. Let's calm down. And then Rachel said, no, a break from us. So it was her own words. So yes, I do believe they were on a break, but, and this is the big but, just because you are on a break in your relationship doesn't mean that you're broken up, in my opinion. So this is where I agree with Rachel. Ross should have never gone out and got drunk and ended up sleeping with the girl from the Xerox copy place. They were on a break, but not the kind of break that Ross alludes to them being. They were not broken up. They were on a break. There's a difference. Okay. Next question. With which Friends and or Disney character do you identify the most? That is a good question. As far as Friends go, I think I would be like a Monica Phoebe combination. Because I really love Phoebe. She's super quirky. I think I'm a little weird too. And I'm definitely anxious, a little bit overly anxious. And I'm kind of like usually... Yeah, I think I have a lot of Monica's qualities too. What Disney character do I identify myself with? That is a good question. I think Belle from Beauty and the Beast, only in a sense that she feels like she's different from everyone else, and that's exactly what I grew up feeling too. Like I'm not like anyone else. I'm different. And as I've grown older, I've sort of come to terms with that's not necessarily a bad thing to be different, to be unique. It just takes, a little bit more being brave and being willing to put yourself out there, even still, even if there are going to be people who might not understand you and might not even like you, really. And hope that answered your questions. Let's see. I might mispronounce your name, and I'm so sorry if I do. Royce? Maybe that's right. Otherwise, educate me. Any VA you'd like to collab with in the future? Yes. If I say their name, I feel like I'm going to scare them away from doing so. But Cardland Audio, if you, for whatever reason, were to come across this, hi. Send me an email if you'd like to work together. I would absolutely love to work with you. Next round of questions comes from A. What is your ideal type? I'm assuming you mean ideal type as far as boyfriend, girlfriend territory. Someone who's really kind, respectful, and compassionate. I really, and this is going to sound so cliche, but if I'm talking about a gentleman, not necessarily talking about a man, but the characteristics of just being really respectful and considerate and kind, someone who is generous as far as, and I don't mean generous with the wallet, I mean generous as far as giving affection and being a good listener, giving you their time, and having a good sense of humor, I think is really important too. And I love people that are a little bit different and that are really passionate about something. I think one of the most attractive things in someone is when they have something that they're so deeply passionate about. Like you can see it in their face, you can see it in their gestures that they make when they talk about it, and they just kind of light up. And I think that's really attractive. Let's see. So I've sort of answered this question. If you had a partner and they didn't accept your channel, how would you react? Like I said, it's super difficult. I have thankfully not been put in that situation. But I could understand how certain aspects of what I do would make someone uncomfortable. And I would definitely be willing to compromise on some things, and we would definitely have a conversation about it. But I hope that they wouldn't want to even ask of me that I would just put my channel down completely. I don't think you should ask your partner to completely give up something that they love. I don't think that's fair, really. Favorite food, I've already answered that, but anything with pasta. And your last question was, what is the ideal date for you? Ooh, there's a lot of different things. I still want to take that cooking class, and I haven't. I don't know. I love cooking together. I think, I don't know, learning together, I think is really fun as well. But just the act of cooking, it doesn't necessarily have to be a cooking class either. I absolutely just love cooking with a partner. That's one of the most romantic things to ever do, I think. Just going to the grocery store, picking out what you're gonna cook, picking out some good wine to go along with it, and then coming home, preparing everything, and just having really awesome conversations over that glass of wine. I think that's more intimate than a lot of other things. And lots of cuddles. Yeah, surprised, I like cuddles. Let's see, next question. And I think this is going to be the final question because this is a very, very long audio. But hello world, you asked probably one of the most popular questions, which is how old are you? My answer for this is going to be pretty much the same as the whole occupation question. It's a question that I'm not really going to answer, but I'll give you a span. It's anywhere between 18 and 35. Wherever in that span you think I should be, yeah, go ahead and imagine that. And you also ask, will you ever do a face reveal? Likely not, due to the whole wanting to be a little bit anonymous thing. So yeah, likely not. Sorry if that got a little bit loud. My neighbors are doing some major renovations, and yeah, super annoying. But I think this is where we are going to end this Q&A. Like I said, it's a really, really long audio anyway. If I didn't get to your questions, I'm really sorry. And hopefully I can answer them in a future one. And yeah, just a massive thank you to anyone that submitted questions for this audio. I had a lot of fun answering your questions. They were definitely all over the place, and I absolutely love it. And thank you so much for listening. I hope you're having a really amazing day, and take care of yourselves out there, okay?